Hey there, Luke Maslin from Total Performance Living in the Better Man Blueprint. And in this quick training video, I'm going to talk you through a framework to help you make sustained transformation and change in terms of your health and performance in life. And to do that, we're going to jump to the whiteboard. I'm going to talk you through this idea of the learning loop. Now, this is a concept that gets at the idea that in order to make sustained change and transformation, we need to understand how to reprogram the subconscious mind, the part of our mind that drives 90% plus of the behavior below the level of the conscious in the subconscious. Now, in order to do that and understand how behavior change happens, we need to look at it from a 5-phase loop. And this idea of looping through these phases being the way that we actually make changes in health and life. And so the 5 phases that we can see here are, first of all, awareness. Nothing changes, no transformation takes place, no results are achieved without a level of awareness, being aware that something is wrong, not what we want it to be, or that we want to make a change around something, having an awareness. The second piece from there is understanding. So once we've got an awareness of something, we need to have a solution around it. We need to understand it more deeply and how we actually solve that problem. So we go from an awareness of something to an understanding. Once we've got an understanding and a strategy and a plan in place, we need to take action on it. We need to actually think differently, behave differently, take different action, or take an action which ultimately leads to a result or an outcome. From the result or the outcome, we get feedback, and then from there, we create further awareness. Now, the issue is for people in terms of making change with health and life is that often there's a breakdown in one of these phases or between one of these 5 phases. For instance, we're unable to create the level of awareness internally to understand that something is wrong or something needs to change. We only have a limited amount of awareness ourselves, and often it takes an external source, an external perspective, or a change in environment to create a new level of awareness. So often there can be a gap actually coming in here of not having that awareness to begin with. The second area where there's a huge gap for people is once we have that awareness, okay, I need to change this, there's something wrong with my health, there's something wrong with my energy, there's an issue with my sleep, there's an issue with my relationships, whatever it might be, we then have a gap in understanding. How do we solve the problem? What's the strategy? What's the solution? What's the plan? What is actually going to work here? And again, we try to solve the problem by ourselves all the time and create that understanding. We're limited in terms of the solutions we can come up with, and often get frustrated that we can't understand the solution to this problem we've identified. What does that lead to? Well, that leads to a breakdown in action. It's when we're constantly frustrated that we can't solve a problem, can't find the solution that works. Maybe we don't take action, or we're taking the action which is not getting the result that we're looking for. So again, there's some breakdown between understanding and action. We're not taking action. We're not actually doing things. We're not doing things that work that get the result. Or we're doing lots of action, but it's just not working. And again, there's a breakdown between action and result. Once again, a lot of the time that's because we're doing things that we think works based on our level of awareness, our level of understanding, the actions that we think will work, but often they're not the things that get the result. And especially from a health perspective, we see people cycle through this constantly, either just not taking action or taking action they think is going to work, but consistently being frustrated with the results that they're not achieving, the fact that they're not getting the outcomes that they're looking for. And then finally, we can have a breakdown in the feedback mechanism. So that we get a result, we get an outcome, something happens, and we're unable to understand the feedback that's being given to us. So for instance, we might make a change, take some action around nutrition, lifestyle, and we exercise more, get some help from a mindset, mentality perspective. We get a result, we get some feedback, but maybe we're not able to interpret and understand what that feedback means, and therefore we miss the opportunity to create another deeper level of awareness. So the takeaway from this is that behavior change, which is at the heart of any transformational change or up-leveling in your health and life, requires you to understand how to consistently loop through what I call the learning loop. And the biggest gap for most people is a lack of support in being able to work through these 5 stages. Because the reality is that you as an individual watching this, any single person can't be responsible for every single part of this chain, for every single aspect, every single thing they want to achieve in their life. So have a think about this and have a think about where you're falling down right here. Is it a lack of awareness? Is it a lack of understanding, a plan, a strategy? Is it a lack of action? Just not taking action or not taking aligned action to what you need to. Are you not getting the results and outcomes that you're looking for? And are you unable to understand and use the feedback to create greater awareness in your life? So there you have it, a really powerful framework around the learning loop, really at the core of creating any sustained transformation in your health and life. If you're watching this, if you're looking to make a change, if you're struggling with some part of this and just not getting the results and outcomes that you're looking for, like I said before, often it takes another perspective, another understanding to be able to see where we're missing out and where the gaps are here. So if that's you and you're watching this and you're looking for some help to create real high performance, high levels of health in your life, reach out, send me a message, let's have a chat, let's brainstorm a plan to get you moving towards that optimal health, high performance and happiness in your life. Either send me a message or click a link if there's a link below this video. Love to chat, brainstorm a plan, see what we come up with and get you moving towards full potential in life. Luke Maslin from Total Performance Living, and I'll speak to you again soon.